How I Met Your Mother is one of the greatest sitcoms in television history. Many love the journey of Ted finding his one soulmate. I love this series for many things. I love Ted's journey, Marshall and Lily's love, Robin's journey towards becoming a real reporter, Barney's constant sex jokes. The humor in this series is hilarious and the drama fits in perfectly. So why do I hate the ending of this beloved franchise so much? Well, let's get into details. Before we start this video, there's going to be a massive disclaimer. I will be using some footage from How I Met Your Mother. This is a little copyright disclaimer. I am only using these clips for the purpose of explaining my essay on why I believe How I Met Your Mother's ending was terrible. And another disclaimer, spoiler alert, there will be spoilers, so if you're watching this series right now, I suggest clicking off this video because I would rather it's just better. You'd get better anticipation. So yeah, let's get into this video. A ton of fans hated the ending of How I Met Your Mother. A ton of fans also defended the story arc of Robin and Ted. The hate towards the ending was so bad that they even decided to add an alternate ending on the DVD. Now let's discuss why the ending didn't work. The whole story is about Ted finding his one soulmate. In the first episode, you already see Robin and Ted connecting, natural chemistry. You see them both falling in love, and there are even obvious shots by the director implying that Robin and Ted would fall in love. Of course, we see Ted drop the L word and Robin freaked out. In the episodes, we learn Ted just wants to settle down, just find a wife, live with her, and have children. You know, the casual suburban lifestyle. But Robin's completely different. Robin doesn't want to marry nor have kids. In fact, she hates kids, and we later find out she can't have kids at all. But in the first few seasons, we see an obvious connection. The writers, the directors, were showing us that Ted and Robin love each other, but due to different paths, they don't stick together. Now you may be thinking this is the perfect choice. They are clearly setting up Robin and Ted for love for each other. Well, here's the issue that comes in. When writing a series with this many seasons, 9 seasons by the way, you develop characters differently than the original plan because of the writer's flow. It casually changes naturally, and through the series, you eventually get to the point where Robin and Barney fall in love. Now at first, I thought this was going to be the next Rachel and Joey. I thought this relationship was just going to last one season and we'd forget about it. But Barney crushing on Robin, and then Robin crushing on Barney, and then eventually both falling in love with each other. You started to notice the natural chemistry. You started to notice that they were actually perfect for each other. The directors made it clear how perfect they were for each other. They both don't like marriage, both don't want kids, and both are career focused. When together, their chemistry flew really well, and the audience loved this connection. Not only that, this is just one piece of the puzzle, but not only that, the mother of Ted's children, Tracy, who was the best part of season 9 by the way, a terrible season by the way, she was introduced finally after 8 seasons of built up. We finally get to see her. Tracy was actually better than imagined. The writers pulled off years of hype setting up Tracy, and she ended up being better than we ever expected. Her episode, How Your Mother Met Me, was easily one of the best episodes in the series run. The audience loved Tracy and could not wait to see Ted finally tell his kid the conclusion on how he met Tracy. Now, here's where you would think that's how the ending's gonna be. We would eventually see Robin and Ted, right? My bad about that. Robin and Barney both just get married and live the rest of their life together, while you see Ted and Tracy together with their children. But instead, we get a 180 and kill off Tracy. The most shocking, surprising move of the whole series. When I watched it the first time, I wasn't like, why would they do that? In my head, I'm like, no way, this is a bold move from the directors. And I'm pretty sure they themselves knew that. But bold doesn't always mean better. Not only that, but Robin and Barney also got divorced after 3 years, and Robin fades away from her friends. In fact, in episodes, Marshall and Lily, they both have like a hatred for Robin now. They hate how she just left the friend group. all the character development for 9 seasons was thrown away. Completely thrown away, thrown in the trash can, and lit on fire. All the character arcs, all the development that you've given us was just thrown away like it was nothing. Barney went from a womanizer to showing Robin that the love she needed, to then returning as a womanizer and trying to have sex with anything that walks. Ted went from addicted to Robin to finally finding his true love in Tracy, who they showed was perfect for Ted. All that development for nothing in the end. Years of Ted's development, from shy man looking for his lover to only to return to being that at the end, but older and with kids. The same exact shot, and yes, it's beautiful to look at the first time, but then the second time you realize Ted never changed. He just had a little bit more confidence, but that's really it. But the worst part of this all was that the writers, the directors, anyone who was involved in creating this show, they spent over 3 seasons telling us why Robin and Ted aren't meant to be. They explained it so well, and even in that season 9, you felt that they aren't meant to be together. You feel like that path that Ted was in earlier, just it stopped, and he found another road. They showed us why Tracy is the one for Ted, and why Barney and Robin are perfect for each other. But the writers instead killed all of that, everything they gave us, only to use what they originally had planned earlier when they were first creating the series. Instead of using the development to create a great ending to the series, they just used the earlier ending that they had first created. The writers and the fans of the ending used the excuse that How I Met Your Mother was attempting to be realistic. That is a terrible excuse. That is a pathetic excuse. You have control over the show. You can create whatever story you want. An ending is not always supposed to be happy, fun, or a nice ending, but it should always be at least satisfying. It should always make sense to the character development, the whole story arc of the characters, especially the protagonists you give us. So when you throw away years of development only to go back to episode 1, because that's legit what the final shot of that final episode felt like. It felt like the first episode again, but older. That causes the audience to feel manipulated. They feel like they fell into a trap. The build-up you created was destroyed in 1 episode, and that, kids, is how the ending completely destroyed the series.